And go.
Okay. Welcome, everybody. We this is our first meeting of the new board, and our new board is Donna Peterson, who said she would be here today. She's our sergeant at arms. Grant Bear, who's here, doesn't want to show his face because he's shy. He's our secretary, Chris VP, and I'm the president. And I'm open to any suggestions that y'all have to move satellite along. We ask that you guys check in on Facebook. And we were going to have the invocation by Donna. Rhonda, would you like to do that?
Actually,
Sure.
she asked me to do it, so
Oh,
if you'd
okay,
like,
go
I'll-
ahead.
and then I'm doing the pledge as well. So
Okay, take over,
Okay.
Chris.
she sent a text just before the meeting saying she was running a couple of minutes late, Rosalie. So, but please bow your heads. Dear Lord, thank you for bringing us together for some Rotary fellowship in these times where we cannot be together in person, but at least we can share each other's company via the miracle of modern technology. God, we ask that you watch over all those that are struggling with the current situation, keep them safe, comfort their families, watch over our first responders worldwide and our military. And Lord, we ask for a special prayer to comfort those who lost their lives in the vehicle motorcycle accident this past weekend in this area. In God's name we pray, amen.
Amen.
Now, stand for the pledge, please. Get all my rugby gear. Hey, Donna, just in time for the pledge. I look at a flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag
Of the
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible,
with
with
liberty
liberty and justice for all.
for all.
Okay, thank you, Chris. Tammy is our speaker today. Is she? I don't think she's online yet, is she?
I'm texting her,
Okay.
unless Donna already did it.
No, I didn't, but I can.
I just sent her something.
Okay.
Oh, you know what? She's not on the satellite committee list, so I can send her another reminder via email too.
Hi, Rosalie.
Hi, Denise.
Did we lose people because we started late?
No.
Okay.
I sent Tammy a copy of our agenda. I'm pretty sure she knew she was going to speak, but she might be running a little bit late.
Well, she might not have been able to log in on the other Zoom meeting.
Let me see what she just said. Hold on. Trying to get in. So she's trying to get in, Rosalie.
Okay.
I would just put it out there while we're waiting. If anybody has any ideas for programs, that's my responsibility this year. So if somebody's just dying to speak to a group, please put them in contact with me or give me their contact information. So I'm going to try and get some interesting programs set up for this year. So I appreciate anybody's input on that matter. Thank you.
And Chris, if you go up on the District 5840 website, which is just District 5840. Search for it and it'll come up Rotary. I think they
Mhm.
have a speakers bureau up there too,
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
just so you know. It's interesting. And I know you're going to get started, but I was talking to this group. There's a club up in Nebraska that listed their club, and they are doing a Facebook Live as well as on Zoom, and they have meetings and they post them, and they have been having 3,000 people either watch it live or watch it after it's posted, which that just blows my mind. 3,000 people. I'm sorry. It's people all over the world, because now with Zoom, people from India are waiting until midnight and then logging in so they can see these meetings. It's just amazing. Okay, I'll shut up.
Okay, hi Tammy.
Hey, how are you?
I'm well, thank you.
Good.
Okay, well, let me introduce our speaker. Our new president is Tammy. Take it away, Tammy.
Okay. Well, I'm excited to see everyone. I know that a new year and new boards are always nerve-wracking. I've been on the board for a little while, but this has been really fun trying to plan how we're going to do the new year. So Christy and I have worked on a budget. We worked on some service projects that we're going to add this year. I don't know if any of you were on our the presentation that I gave, but the we're going to add an adoption fair. It was something I learned about in pets, and it works with Child Protective Services, and they bring in foster children and also invite approved potential parents, and the Rotary Club just throws a picnic and the kids play and they have fun, and it's a no pressure situation for the parents or the kids. It's just a fun day, and it's something that was started by a man in a North Texas club, and it's really doing well, and it's a sanctioned event for Rotary, so that's something that we're going to add. I also talked a lot about my family in my presentation, so I won't do that now, but part of that was my mom was sick, and she passed away at an early age and needed blood transfusions and plasma on a regular basis, just weekly. She needed it, and she was sick for a year. So another thing that we're going to do is add blood drives that the Rotary Club sponsors, and we'll hope that members will participate in that. So that's something that we're going to do. And then Christy and I are jointly trying to figure out how to do a project in Guatemala. It is an organization that teaches or grooms young students to learn a trade rather than college or anything else. It's more of a vocational program, and they need a lot of help. Now, the cool thing about that for me was that we have two people locally that already participate in that club. One is Jane Ragsdale, or in that organization. Jane Ragsdale is one, and Mary Ellen Summerlin is the other one. So knowing that we already have buy-in locally from people that we know, they've been doing it for a long time, I got really excited about it. And Chris, I think, was excited before I was, but we are really trying hard to figure out a way that we can help them. We have money budgeted. We're hoping to go for a global grant. That could take longer than our year, but I think that we can help them with some of their smaller needs from this club year, and their larger needs are pretty big. I think around $100,000, Chris, between the bridge and the
Oh, no.
muted.
Myself, I'm sorry. The bridge and the other stuff totaled about 90,000, which means we would need to raise about 20 to 25,000 as a club, and then, or as multiple clubs that come together. If we could get a bunch of clubs to come together to total 25. We'll go to the district to match that, and then we go to global grant to match that.
So they need a habitat house for a teacher. They need some supplies and some various things that are not that much. But what happened to them is a hurricane or tsunami, I'm not really sure, I don't remember exactly what, came and washed out a bridge. That bridge was the only way that this particular group of people on this part of the island could get to civilization or the biggest areas on the other side of the island. So they're trying to get this bridge back so that people can commute back and forth, plus, work and get food and all those other things. So the bridge is the biggest portion of it, and it's probably the hardest part because they have engineers without borders, is that what it is, that can design it, but the rest of it will take a while. But anyway, that's a lofty goal, but we would sure like to see that happen. If nothing else, I know we can help with some of the other things. You could build a habitat house for them for just $6,000. And the global grants or matching grants require that Rotarians do part of the work. So Dr. Robertson, who is somebody that we have been talking to, is already talking with other Rotary clubs, but Chris and I want to go help build the house in Guatemala. So we thought that would be cool. It'd be in January. So we don't know if we're going to get to do that. We don't know exactly what's going to happen, but at the very least, I'd like to help them build the habitat house for the teacher, because they feel that if it would be more beneficial to a teacher, or they're more attractive to a teacher if they had a nice place to stay and stuff like that. So I got really excited about that. And that's something that we're working on. We're doing our budget. I'm finishing up the budget now. We just got Charlie's year-end numbers and we made some adjustments, but it looks like since we did so well with Super Bowl, we had some extra money. And since COVID stopped Charlie's year from spending money, there may be some there to help with the things that we're going to duplicate this year from last year. For instance, next month's Citizenship Awards banquet would have been a luncheon, and there would have been an expense. We're going to do it Zoom, so there's really not an expense. But should there have been, we had to figure out how to get the money from Charlie's year into our year, and if it was there and stuff. So it's been a really big learning curve. As far as satellite, one of the things that happened 2 years ago, I'm not exactly sure of if it was 2 or 3, but we didn't have representation from satellite on our regular board. And I think adding a satellite member has just made all the difference. To be able to have that interaction between the two clubs. I know that you're a small group and that you guys are dedicated and you work really hard, and it's really admirable. And I want each of you to realize how important satellite is to our whole club, not just your club or the board of directors, but we're all one club. And it just amazes me how hard you each work and how dedicated you each are to keeping your club going. And I want you to know if there's anything that I can do. I'm not brilliant with how to do things, but I work really hard, and I'm not scared to roll up my sleeves. So if you need help with something, let us know. Let me know. Our club is currently still meeting via Zoom. I don't see that changing for August. Not even sure it would change for September. However, as a club, your club included, with school starting back, with the Shriner starting back, and people trying to figure out how to get to a new normal, it might be something that we could all kind of brainstorm on how we could get back to when it's safe to get back to meeting in person, because I think it means a lot to the club to be able to interact personally. We've noticed in our club attendance, it's been down from when it first started. but Christy says that it's down, but there's 40 people in it, but they're different 40 people, or a big chunk of those 40 people change each. So we actually are seeing a lot of participation from our membership. We're just not seeing it all at once. And so I think there's a lot of work to be done to be able to keep our club engaged during our virtual time. And that's really been hard. We've tried to do it with interesting programs. And I think that Clint Morris has done a great job with that. I talked about in my presentation what Rotary means to me, and I was pretty honest. I think maybe a little off-putting how honest I was about things, but I joined Rotary solely to promote my new paper. We started the newspaper, and I just really wanted to join Rotary because that's what I thought everybody did. But when I went to my orientation, I realized quickly that that's not what Rotary was about. It wasn't about promoting your business, even though a lot of our leaders, our business leaders, were in it. It's not about that. So after my orientation, I realized it was really something special. You learned about the meaning of service above self, and you learn the meaning of how big one group of people can, what changes we can make as a group when you realize that we have nearly eradicated polio as one group. That was one person's dream, and the whole world made it happen. So I really changed that as to who I was. And my first meeting was a presentation on polio and Rotary's efforts on it behalf of getting it eradicated. So I've never been happier to be there, but than I was at that meeting, and realized that I had joined a movement and not a networking group. So it's really nice. And I encourage each of you, if you get an opportunity to get into the executive roles and attend PETS, is President-elect training in Dallas. It's amazing to think that our one group of people, you're 15 people, can do one thing, but you're not 15 people. You're 15 members of multi-million number of people in Rotary worldwide. And when you go to PETS or you attend some of these Zoom virtual trainings, you'll see that it isn't just your few people or Christy or me that are cheerleaders for Rotary. It's all over the world. And so when you can feel that you're part of something bigger, it just makes a big difference, I think. So that's, to me, that's what Rotary became. And being able to be on the board allowed me to see the club from the inside out, which I think has been huge for me. You don't realize how many people are working so hard behind the scenes to do all the things that you do. So when it was my turn to pick people to be on the board, I wanted to do so with people that were new, that weren't the same handful of people that are always on the board or on the committees or the whatever. So that was my goal. My goal for this year is to have engagement from people who may feel like they've been neglected. And that's what I'm trying to do in my year. It's kind of hard to do when you're virtual, but that's what I'm trying to do. Does anybody have any questions? Because I didn't feel like I wanted to give the same presentation to you guys, so I didn't.
You did good. Thank you. I'm excited about the adoption thing and the Guatemala trip. I'll go with y'all.
Oh man, Chrissy and I both want to go. I'd like to say I'm going to do it, and I have all intents and purposes. I will want to go. So I don't know, but the adoption thing is really something special. I learned about that at PETS. So Rosalie, you should be going to PETS this year, correct?
I think so.
Okay, so you make sure it's usually in February. And it's important. You will leave there a whole other Rotarian. You may not think that you could get any more excited than you are right now until you leave PETS. And it is from like 8 in the morning to 8 at night, constant. It's not, there's no lull, and you don't feel tired. I mean, you feel tired, but you don't feel like the day is there's no part of the day that you're going, oh, I wish this was just over. You're just back, it's almost like there's not enough hours in the day to participate in all the things you want to. So
Well,
anybody,
that sounds exciting.
I think that you'll love it. And anybody in your club that wishes to look towards having an executive role in satellite, I really encourage you to do it. It's a whole different thing. And I was a little, when it came time to do the board for satellite, I wasn't really sure. So we wanted to tell you that I asked Donna to stay on, and she's in the middle of some projects too. And she does a really great job, which I know you guys must know. But I didn't, y'all might want to figure out if it's going to always be you might want to have a situation where you move a member from, say, secretary from your club that's always going to serve on. We might need to work on how our clubs can make sure there's always a satellite member, and then you can determine which satellite member that's going to be.
Okay.
I think that really means a lot. There was a president of your club a while back who asked to meet with us and basically said that they felt not a part of our club, and that hurt my feelings. So I want to make sure that you guys always feel that, and that we are always working together, and not two separate clubs. Y'all just need a different time. We're all one club.
Okay, thank you.
Tammy, can I ask you a quick question?
You bet.
Will y'all be working as far as the adoption and foster program? Will y'all also be working with Divinity Family Services?
I don't know. I don't know.
Because they work so closely with CPS.
Yes,
also.
and they may ask them to participate, but our only it's my understanding that our only approved method of anything is going directly through CPS. And what CPS does is a different story, but we're not supposed to. We're only supposed to be providing food and a venue and everything else. So that's why I said it's through CPS, because CPS actually does all the work. I would bet that Divinity, they already have a relationship.
Right.
And I would bet that there's some sort of, but that would be all CPS. Our job only is to provide a venue and food. But I was so touched by it all that I just wanted to do that, and can't believe people hadn't been doing it all this time. We're overwhelmed with foster children. At least Kelly Early was telling me that the numbers of foster children just continue to go up. So this would be really cool. I wanted to get something district-wide, and I've talked to 2 clubs in San Antonio, one in Bernie and the Fredericksburg Club, to have one really big one. And right now I'm trying to figure out if that really works, because I guess CPS has different districts or areas or regions of service. So I'm not really sure we can have one big one. I think but I've encouraged each of them to have one of their own. They're all interested, but I'm just at the beginning stages of to figure out how to do that. And what we would do is, besides providing the food, we would be there to serve. We would be the manpower on the ground. So it would be a real, I suspect it's going to be very rewarding to participate in. But, yeah.
Have a time frame that you're thinking of? Of course, with COVID, we can't.
Yeah, I was thinking about the spring regardless before COVID, because you can ask Christy. I've been talking about this for 2 years, but before COVID, I wanted to do it in the spring anyway. But now with COVID, it probably, no matter what, that would be better. Early spring when it's not so hot. I thought about Louise Hayes Park and renting that pavilion and getting some bouncy stuff, and maybe we want to wait until April where they could actually fish or do something by the river. So I've been thinking about it a lot, and I have lots of good ideas. I'm just trying to get with the right people to get it finalized. Another thing that we have had trouble with, we still are planning to do Rise Against Hunger, but we've not been able to get the manpower for whatever reason to show up to help us. So we're gonna Christy's probably going to have to help me on that too, but try to figure out when we want to do it. We've committed money to it. But it might be something where we need to each bring a friend and entice some of our members that don't do anything. That's what I want to see. I've asked everybody in our club to participate in one service project. If you just participate in one service project all year long and you've never participated before, I will be happy. So 100% participation from our club. So hopefully we can get people in on that. Shriner, I don't know what happened last year, but I thought it would be great to partner with Shriner to do it because they have manpower and they're already doing one. And but I think they might want to do it on their own. I've never asked, but it looked like they were having a really good time. Casey and all of them were just having fun putting all their bags together. So it may be something they want to do on their own. I'm not sure. But Calvary Temple is somebody I thought about. They have a location and they have really energetic volunteers. So maybe them. But that's going to be something I may need help with planning for, because that's been the problem ever since we've done it. Christy, did just nod. Did you have problems with volunteers in your year? You didn't, did you? No. And Robin's year, it dropped a lot. And last year we didn't do it at all. So I'd like to see us where we have enough people to do it and the same people don't just show up. But I'm going to be working on everybody by that time. And that's probably going to have to be a spring event too, because of COVID as well. So I just did the numbers. There were, so because of the newspaper, I don't know if y'all want to talk COVID because you're probably already over it, but some good news to me was that there were 546 Kerr County residents tested at the National Guard. And of those, there were only 29 positive cases, making that number 5%. So I'm hoping that we're getting to a level at which things will get better. We can't say that we can't assume that they are, but I found that really encouraging. And maybe it's just because I want us to be able to all get together again. I don't know, but I found that encouraging. Denise and Rosalie, I don't know who else. Y'all each participated in Super Bowl, and we always said we were going to do thank you cards. So I got a reminder, as you might expect, from Stephanie, who said, hey, we haven't done our thank you cards. So would y'all feel comfortable if we got our regular group that was meeting afterwards just to go to dinner and do thank you cards? Because I think it's going to help Jeff a lot if we can get those done.
Yes, that would be good.
Okay.
And I'll bring a volunteer. I just bring my own 2 volunteers everywhere. So.
Oh, well, your Annie is just a doll baby. She is so sweet and so helpful.
In the background going, me.
Oh, how cute. Well, I will email Stephanie and tell her we want to do that. I don't know if we have thank you cards. I mean, I can print some up, but I know that I made some, and I don't know if we still have some. So I will get with Charlie.
I have the template.
The one that for a community service fund?
Yeah.
Okay.
I
good.
have a
Well,
template. I can email that to you if you want.
Yes, please. I printed them for Robin or you, one of the two, at some point. So that would be nice to have, and I can have all the envelopes ready and all of that. I don't think people will be disappointed that it's so late. They will be understanding that, we've all had this delay in everything that we're doing.
Right.
But I think that we'll do that.
Are you thinking about doing this in the next couple of weeks?
As soon as I can get them, 2 to 3 weeks. I'd like to have them out before September 1st, so that, because by October we should already be selling raffle tickets. So, yeah.
Or a Zoom Super Bowl meeting.
Yeah. So, anyway, so I'd like to do that. And I think it would be safe if we just had, I think they will seat 6 people to a table. So if we had more than that, we might have 2 tables, but just be as safe as we can, wear a mask, maybe go to a restaurant. social distance, and get those cards out. I think it'll mean a lot because not one person can do it all by themselves, but not to mention that we could have some fun. I might be just looking for human interaction, but anyway, we can get that done.
Okay.
Does anybody else have any questions? I've never been the president of Rotary. I've watched a lot of other Rotarian presidents, but even from the board perspective, you don't realize how much there actually is to do as the president. So I'm learning. I don't have all the answers yet. If we have this meeting at the end of the year, I could probably tell you a lot more.
Well, I'm learning from you, so
Yeah.
I'm just going to copy what you're doing.
Yeah, I would just hang by Christy. That's what I would do.
Hang by Christy.
Yeah.
Speaking of Christy, just so y'all know, we are going to move ahead with trying to do the Labor Day event and do it as socially distanced. If come end of August, everything is still too hot here with regards to cases, we will postpone it at that point. But right now we're moving ahead with it for September 7th, which is that first Monday in September on Labor Day. So that'll be an event that hopefully we can get Satellite and Rotary and Rotaract and Interact all involved with. Our next meeting for that group is August 11th. So I stayed away from the Satellite Tuesday by going on August 11th. So y'all can join us then.
Okay.
I think, I don't know that you saw today, Christy, but the UIL is allowing sports to continue. Only the 5A and 6A schools are being delayed. Anything from 4A down is starting on time. So, I think that you're safe in thinking that we're going to be okay to have that because we want to put those safety measures in place with social distancing and stuff like that. And by nature, it's a social distance event if you're a participant.
Right.
So I think it's going to happen. Ashley Perry called me today and asked me about the cards and stuff, and I told her that I would do what I always do. So we need to do a story on that. We usually do a front page story on that, but this is really worthy of a front page story. It'd be the first public event I think that the city will have had. So let's see. We have a problem with not installations, but we have new members that we're waiting to bring on board. Christy said just starting this year, there were 5 hanging in the wind to our club that are going to join, and maybe membership of their family members, or what can we do to help you with anything that you need? I'm just talking. What can we do to help you?
I was thinking about, it's kind of hard to do a membership drive because there's only 16 Satellite members right now. And it's kind of hard to do, meet and greet or membership party or whatever. But if y'all would maybe brainstorm and just think of ideas as to new members or contact the members that are already in Satellite that don't really show up. Because there used to be more than 16. There used to be like 25 or 26. I don't remember when that was, but if y'all can help think about that, maybe we can get a few more people in the Satellite.
I think that it was, and I can't remember who it was, but someone was thinking that for every Rotarian we should encourage a wife or a child or an adult child or somebody in that family because they could share the Rotary experience together. So maybe we should at a meeting mention that if your spouse would like to be a member. We don't do a good enough job of promoting Satellite at our regular meetings, so we need to put that in. Maybe we could put that on the agenda, remind people that our Satellite Club meets on this day, and it would be a perfect club for your significant other to participate in too, maybe. Yes, Chris.
I would like to say that the link should probably be sent out to the whole club, the noon club and the satellite club, in case people want to get a makeup. That would certainly make it more worthwhile for speakers to come and talk to the group. That's part of the Fellowship of Rotary, is basically any Rotarian, any meeting. So when we're sending out a Zoom link meeting for satellite, it should probably go out to the whole 100+ members and see whose schedule possibly works better on a Tuesday evening as opposed to a Wednesday noon type of a deal. So just something to throw out there. And as far as membership goes, the year that I was president of the morning club, I think I started off with 11 or 12 members, and I think we were down to 9 or 10 by the time I was done. I had a newborn that year, and it was basically be the club president or the club's going to fold. So, but anyway, there's no right or wrong to being the club president. They always just say, feed them and have a good program and get them out on time. And other than that, everything falls into place because Rotarians are always good sorts that will make it work regardless. So y'all are going to do great.
And just so you all know, Carol Twist has transferred to your club. So Carol is now on your list. I just added Tammy so she'll get all your notifications. So she has that. And that gives you 17 with Tammy on this. But you definitely, and I did, just so you know, Chris, I did send it out this week to everybody when I sent it out on Monday. But when I sent the reminder tonight, like 10-minute call, I just sent it to the satellite. I didn't send it to everybody then, but I did send it out, the initial notice, to everybody.
Excellent.
And that's how I used to do it as well. I used to include everybody because if somebody needed to do a makeup meeting, that was an opportunity for them to do that.
That's a great idea.
Great. Okay, well, as far as announcements, we want to encourage everyone to do Zoom meetings, pay our dues online, and I don't have Rotary. Christy, do you know families in Rotary?
I don't know of any. I don't know if any of y'all in the satellite know Bill Crumrine, but he is his health is failing. He has been actually put on hospice, just so you know. And for those of you who know Nancy Muldoon, she has officially moved outside of Houston into the Conroe area to be near her kids since she lost Bill Muldoon. So those are things. I will say this, I was on a conference call for the district earlier, and there is a club in our district that since they started going to Zoom, they've gained 37 members. And it's because they've reached out to people who normally maybe can't go to a meeting. And this is a way for them to connect during a time when, it's hard to necessarily sometimes connect with people. So I think the job of Rotary, the mission of Rotary, is not going away anytime soon. And Tammy always talks about the fact we got to just tell our story. And Donna, I know, is helping to do that with our website and some of our stuff. So I don't think this is a time where you don't necessarily have to grow. I think if there are people you think would be a good fit, you can invite them and they can test it out on Zoom without necessarily coming to a meeting. So I want to say the same thing to all of our Rotarians at lunch, Tammy, that, we still can grow. We can still grow Rotary because we're like-minded people who want to make a difference in our community. I mean, I just think we have to get the word out. That's all.
Yeah.
I agree. Thank you. Thank you, Christy. Sorry, cooking supper over here. Okay, well, I think that's all we have for the announcements. Our next meeting is April 18th. And Chris, I saw the meeting with Doug Thomas about COVID and the emergency response that Kerrville has. And maybe that would be a good speaker for next month. He gave a lot of information, but of course, we would give him a time limit. I think that's it. Does anybody have anything else?
No, I just want to thank each of you for your hard work. I know that you guys work hard for what you do, and thank you.
Okay, thank you too. Okay, we ready?
I'm sorry, I just remembered something because I got the notice today. Our Rotary Community Club is alive and well with Brandon Airy as a new chair, and they are putting a group of people together for to socially distance but still clean up the river this Saturday. So it's going to be from 8:30 to 10:30, and they're going to meet on Riverside Drive, which is off Loop 534, kind of over by the VA hospital. So if anyone wants to come pick up trash with some other people, that's what they'll be doing this Saturday for 2 hours. They had to scrap the very organized trash pickup, but groups are getting together and still going out and picking up trash. And Brandon took that on as one of the first things maybe some of the Rotary actors could do. So that'll be this Saturday.
Okay.
Awesome.
All right, thank you. Okay, the four-way test. Is it the truth? Is it fair?
Fair to
They're all
all
concerned.
Will it
Will it
build
build
goodwill
goodwill
and
and
better
friendships?
friendships.
Will
Will
it
it
be
be
beneficial
to all concerned?
All right.
See y'all.
Thank you.
Night.
All righty.
Thank you, guys. Good night.
Good night.
Good night.